We know what has just started in Major League Baseball as they wrap up the general managers' meetings.
Oh, my God. I mean, just a huge list here of potential free agents. Let's put them up on the board.
Yeah, open your checkbook. The free agent negotiations have begun. It will be interesting to see who signs and how quickly they sign and where they wind up. Is the Ohtani negotiation going to be long and drawn out? He's represented by as influential a group as there is, CAA. Keep those names up there.
Okay.
I think Ohtani is going to get a mega contract, and maybe it's a two-tiered contract. Maybe it's a lump sum for years 1 and 2 when you're my designated hitter, and then there's a reopener that allows you to get more money if you prove that you can pitch coming off the surgery. He will be somebody's DH in 24. He'll be in somebody's rotation on 25. Everybody that I kind of exchange emails with in my network of baseball people of the opinion Dodger Stadium. Blake Snell, he's a wild card here because he's represented by Scott Boras. Blake Snell is probably going to ask for 5 years. He's probably going to ask for upwards of maybe 140 to 150 million.
Wow.
That's an awful lot of money for a guy that had one super year in Tampa, one superb year in San Diego, buffeted by a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I hear Cardinals more than anybody else. Aaron Nola, workhorse. This guy has made himself into a complete pitcher. Philadelphia Phillies, one of their aces with Zach Wheeler. Have a hard time believing that Philly would let him walk. Again, term. How long is the contract? Maybe that'll chase Philadelphia out of the negotiations if the agent asks for a 5 or 6 year deal. If I were king, I don't give pitchers 5 or 6 year deals. Wild card guy is Jared Montgomery. You know, he went from where he was in St. Louis to Texas. Dude's got a World Series ring. He pitched pretty well. Finally matured as a starting pitcher. He bounced around from, I think, Kansas City to the Yankees to on to St. Louis and then to Texas. Josh Hader should be the first reliever to come off the board. I'm not sure where he's going to wind up, but everybody needs a closer, and his price tag is probably going to be about $20 million. Cody Bellinger, represented by you-know-who.
Scott Boras.
Now, this guy had 2 fabulous seasons with the Dodgers. Then he got hurt. He had 2 substandard seasons. He looked awful, like he lost his ability to play. Unbelievable bounce-back year. I don't know how much playing at Wrigley Field's confines had to do with Cody Bellinger's success. Bellinger is out there. Now, the issue, because of who the agent is, John, is how much and how long a contract are they going to demand? Is he a one-year wonder at Wrigley Field? Has he been reborn? Now is he what he was with the Dodgers? Remains to be seen. Matt Chapman, Toronto third baseman. Okay. Average hits for home runs. Yash Yamamoto. This guy is 25 years old. Spectacular career in Japan. I think his career ERA is like 1.70 in Japan. They say he can be somebody's second or third pitcher. Jo-Hung Lee, outfielder, center fielder, can fly, hit 350. Now, I don't know how 350 in Japan equates with Major League Baseball. Eduardo Rodriguez, Detroit, opted out of the contract, refused to go to Dodger Stadium, pitched well in a bad situation. He's probably the head of the second tier of free agents. Justin Turner opted out in Boston. I hear he's going to Arizona. I don't think the Dodgers can bring him back because the Dodgers have so many other needs. Aroldis Chapman, once feared closer, the 105-mile-an-hour fastball, bounced around a lot in the last group of years, lost a little bit of his velocity, but he'll probably be the second reliever off the board, well back of the pack from Josh Hader. And a wild card name that's not up there on the board has to be considered because his agent has met the last 2 days with teams in Scottsdale. Trevor Bauer. Do you touch the toxic talent, or doesn't it matter because he never, ever got charged? He paid his price in terms of his credibility, etc. So a ton of names out there. John, go ahead, flip through what you want to talk about.
Well, first of all, I think this is going to be like the Machado Bryce Harper year, where everyone's kind of waiting to see what happens to Shohei Ohtani, right? And that'll be the first domino to fall, and then they'll all go. There's a few names on that list, like Justin Turner. When the Dodgers got rid of him, I thought he was on the downside of his career, but he played really well in Boston. So he's rejuvenated.
Short-term contract.
Yeah, he's a short-term guy. Yeah, he's the AM/PM man. You're that guy, the character of the convenience store. The guy that to me is intriguing is Montgomery, because I've heard a lot of very positive comments about him, not just in terms of his pitching abilities, but his intelligence, and that he could be like a really good anchor for a rotation.
So we'll see. My theory is my team can't be in the Ohtani sweepstakes. I'm not waiting for Ohtani. I'm going to go after whom I need to go after, whether I'm on the Padres or I'm the Giants or I'm whomever. Keep in mind, San Francisco's got contacts in Japan. I hear they're really interested in Yamamoto, and Lee, the outfielder's landing spot, might be San Francisco. But the Yankees are in on Yamamoto. Keep that in mind. Of the names that are there, most likely to stay, Philadelphia can't let Nola go. That's my gut feel there. Now Texas is not afraid to spend, and there's a wild rumor out there that Texas is going to be in the Ohtani sweepstakes.
Wow!
Now, does Shohei look good in a cowboy hat? I don't know, but that's the rumor out there, considering what Texas spent over 2 years to become a World Series team. So lots of names and notes in the news there.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's all starting to open up, all this free agency. I mean, this is an amazing time of the year. But have we seen anyone sign yet? I don't think anyone has. No,
none of the big names.
None of the big names, right.
One sidebar question for you. You, in left field, are the general manager of the Padres. From left field, are you spending all your time to try to re-sign Soto right now? Or are you spending time to go find potential starting pitchers 3, 4, and 5 right now? Should you take care of Soto? Should you trade Soto if you can't get him signed immediately? Keep Soto, let him run the season, see what kind of season he has. So you're dealing with Soto, or you're going to go deal with the pitchers?
We got to walk and chew gum at the same time. So I think you can have conversations with Boris. Apparently, they've already talked. So you try to work a deal, but you go in with the expectation that it's going to be hard to get Boris to let his client sign with a year left on his deal. So while you're cooking that up, you might shop Soto, but to me, that's the wrong plan. And don't get rid of Soto. He's one of the best hitters in all of baseball. You keep him for one more year at minimum. And then meanwhile, you go shopping for pitching, and maybe you try to bring back Snell. Montgomery might be interesting. There might be some, like even bringing back Lugo or Waka for a little bit less money might be interesting. Depends where they're going to land. But I think you've got to do both. You've got to go after Soto. You got to go and restock the starting rotation. You got to figure out what in the hell you're going to do in center field too.
Okay, here's what I would do right now. I would meet with Scott Boras as soon as the meeting's over in Scottsdale. We know that they turned down 15 years, $440 in Washington that led to the trade. Well, at that point in time, that was about $30 million per.
Yeah.
My gut feel is his price tag is going to be 30 this year. You come up with a 5-year deal, just 5, and you jump it incrementally. He's going to get 30 this year. You get him 35 the second year. You give him 40 for the remaining 3 years. Then, if he continues to be a superstar, he becomes a free agent again at age 30 or 31. We'll see where baseball's economics are. Maybe you can re-sign him then. But I don't think they should offer him 10 years or 15 years. Give him 5 state-of-the-art high money. It allows him to re-enter the free agent market, whatever it's going to look like, at age 30 or 31. Yes or no?
Well, if I'm the Padres, yeah, but I don't think Soto's signing that deal, because they're going to want like an 11-year deal, just like Bogarts got, or like Machado got a 10-year deal or whatever it was. Because when that contract expires and he's in his early 30s, his skill level is kind of peaking, maybe starting to plateau, maybe even declining a bit. And then, he's going to get a lot less for his mid-30s, late 30s. So I don't think Boras signs him to a 5-year deal, so even at state-of-the-art money.
He's betting on himself that he's going to continue this. He'll only be 30 if you take my 5-year offer.
But someone else is going to put a 10-year deal on the table. And because that's the going rate these days.
No, it's the only place that's going rate these days is down at Tony Gwynn Way at Petco Park. John, I don't see anybody. I knew you were going to do the show from left field and just be off on a tangent. I don't see anybody offering anybody 10-year contracts anywhere in baseball. Where? No, see?
Yeah. Now I'm thinking. I mean, what
don't
about,
think? As Kevin Costner would say in Bull Durham, don't think you hurt the team.
Yeah. Well, what about Garrett Cole? How long is his contract?
I want to say,
well, he's a pitcher, so it's shorter. But Aaron Judge, how about him?
Signed. Yeah, he signed through age 45, I think.
Yeah, something crazy. But those are the exceptions. But Soto and Aaron Judge are kind of, at the top of the heap. I would have a hard time believing Boris would let Soto do that.
Even if it's way above market the first 5 years?
Well, again, it depends on the competitive offerings. If all these other teams are dealing with this debt to income ratio challenge, and they've all got to tamper or temper their payroll, then he might not have as many options as he thinks he's going to have.
Okay, fans forum chat box is open. Do you think Padres priority one should be Soto, or should they go after pitching and then circle back? Because Soto still owes them another year. You're a Padre fan, you're a baseball fan, jump into the fans forum chat box, because at the end of the show, we're going to talk about that. Hey,